Bonjour!
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about one of the most underrated tanks at tier 8, aka the SU-101. I know a lot of people are hating on this tank over the fact that it doesn't have a lot of armor or even gun depression, but trust me, when you manage to know how to play correctly, it becomes a real beast on the battlefield. Let's jump further into detail concerning the tank itself and its characteristics, and after I'm going to show you that what you can do with this tank when you manage to play it correctly, and when you have the RNG on your side, you're going to see the game after. First thing first, the gun. It's one of the most amazing one at tier 8 in terms of accuracy if you equip it properly, which is kind of weird for a Russian gun, because they are known to have really good alpha damage, but not really good accuracy. Look at this, the gun dispersion is below 0.30, sitting at 0.29. The DPM is really great as well for a tank destroyer, it's very nice. You have nearly 2.5k combined with 10.2 seconds of reload. The average penetration is great, you will never struggle penetrating. Your average damage is great as well, sitting at 420, but I wish Wargaming could actually buff it just a little bit, maybe to 440. I think that's what this tank lacks the most of, but it's only my opinion and you may differ, of course. Now, where this tank becomes a real struggle in my opinion, and that's why people don't like it, when it comes to the gun depression, only 4 degrees. And trust me, playing with an SU-101 with only 4 degrees of gun depression, if you are not camping at the back of the map, good luck finding the right position. And I think that's the problem with these kind of tanks. They are meant for pro players, or at least players that have knowledge on where to place themselves on the map, etc. Now, don't worry, this tank has other advantages. For example, the mobility, which is one of the greatest at tier 8. You will go around 55 kilometers per hour. 55, no, I'm exaggerating, but 50 kilometers per hour. You are extremely mobile with this tank. You can literally play on the medium side with your medium and arrive on time with them, which is kind of a really good aspect of the tank, because it will allow you to surprise the opponents, especially mediums or light tank, because they will never just... how can I say that? They'll never expect you to be on the medium side. So if you manage to get there with a 420 alpha damage, and trust me, you are going to penetrate, you are going to smoke them all. Finally, for the turn rate, it's an extremely good one for a tank destroyer, because you're sitting at 54 degrees per second. For the equipments, how am I equipping my tank? First, gun rammer, you don't need the calibrated shell, your penetration is way enough. Enhanced gun lane drive to reduce my aim time. And finally, refined gun to reduce my gun dispersion. Because I like to... I don't know, I like on my tank destroyers to have a lower gun depression, just over the fact that 10 seconds is quite long for a reload, too long. And I just like to not wait for the fully aim time to be decreased for me to be able to shoot. After, I go for the defense system, improved assembly, because you don't have a lot of armor, so you definitely need that. Toolbox, improved optics. I could go for the camo net as well, but I would rather play with the improved optics, knowing that as the tank is low profile, you already have a great camo on it, which can be a good thing if you are a camper. Engine accelerator, because I told you the mobility is great, so why not improve it just a little bit. And finally, here you could go for whatever you want. Honestly, I think it's the best to go for a consumable delivery system, because with 10 seconds of reload, yes, you will be able to shoot twice, but trust me, you would rather be able to use adrenaline more often for you to, I don't know, if you are in a tough situation and your adrenaline reloads faster, it will allow you to maybe kill or do more damage than with the regular duration of consumable equipment, which, well, how is it called? High-end consumable. So yeah, go for the consumable delivery system. Now let's jump real quick into Tank Inspector, because I want to show you 1 or 2 things about the armor profile. Here, as you can see, doesn't seem quite armored, and I totally agree with you. This is easy to penetrate because it's butter. It's the same for the upper part of the hull, but the cool thing about the upper part of the hull is that if you manage to angle it even just a little bit in front of your opponents, you can literally increase it to nearly 300 millimeters of raw armor, which will allow you to get some lucky bounces. For example, if you're playing over a ridge line, there is a little slope which allows you to hide the lower part of the hull and angle that part. You could use it to actually make your opponents bounce, as long as they don't have more than 260 millimeters of penetration. Otherwise, you're going to get completely smoked. For the rest of the tank, of course, you have the mighty gun mantlet, which is the only part of the tank that is literally impenetrable for everything, tier 10 included. But who cares? You're not gonna see tier 10 with this tank, except if you fail platoon, of course. And finally, I thought at first that this part was a good one, like you could actually get some bounces here, but it seems like it's not really the case. I know it's extremely angled, so if you manage to poke around the corner, angling it just a little bit, you can get more artificial armor, but trust me, you are not going to bounce quite a lot with that armor profile. Now, what you want to do with this tank is wiggling, because the more you wiggle, the more chances your opponents will shoot at your gun mantlet, and if they do, it's an auto bounce. For the rest of the tank, quite easy to penetrate, even with HE, especially the rear, so be careful about HE shells, especially knowing that that's where your munitions are located. So when there is someone behind you and he shots HE at your back, trust me, you're gonna get boomed away. So be careful while using this tank. Always make sure that your opponents can see your frontal armor only, and most of the time try to avoid getting shot for nothing. Alright boys, time for us to talk about the playstyle of the tank. You're gonna see I'm gonna do one huge mistake during this replay. Don't worry, it's not gonna cost me the game, but it's gonna cost me nearly all my HP, and we're gonna talk about that later on because it will highlight something about the tank. But most importantly, with this tank you have two different playstyle. I think the best is probably camping, literally camping from maybe a hill or something to be able to deal with your lack of gun depression. But as I like to play it aggressively and use the mobility, I kind of like to go on places where I'm not supposed to be. For example, right there near the spawn. As you can see, we took the shot straight into the gun mantlet, which did not allow the WZ to penetrate. And that's what is great about this tank, the fact that your gun mantlet, if you take any shot from it, you will bounce. Of course, if you want to increase your chances of bouncing, as I told you, you need to wiggle, because when you don't wiggle, as you can see, I'm getting completely smoked, because they're gonna be able to penetrate the side of my turret. It's not really a turret, but my casemate cheeks, and that's the main problem with this tank. I think Wargaming should buff two things: maybe increase the alpha damage from 420 to 440, but also increase the armor profile on the tank, because at the moment you can't really bounce anything, which is kind of a shame. And here you go for the big mistake, and of course at the beginning of the game, as you can see, I lost all my HP on that stupid move. I don't know why I did that, honestly. I'm just tired at this point because I'm in exams. I was not even thinking. I was like, let's shoot, and I went straight on the WZ, and that was a mistake, boy. But thanks to my Russian accuracy and having Stalin by my side, we take out that Type 61, which is sorry, not really happy about that. Fuck you, Lucker. Yeah, sorry, Type 61. Gotta agree with him on this one. My aim time was not fully... I was not fully aimed. I shot and it went straight through his gun mantlet. I can understand his rage. I think I would have raged the same. But now we gotta play careful, guys. And that's where the second playstyle comes in. Because here we're gonna play like a traditional tank destroyer. And what do I mean by that? You take some distance and you wait for your allies to spot for you, and when you can, you snap those sneaky shots, eliminating targets such as that Tiger 2. Here we go for the Tiger. We only have to deal with the Vikers right now because the rest are not spotted. Can we sneak a shot? It seems like the guy's not focused on us, so here we go. We snap a great shot there thanks to the high roll ability. I think that's how we say it. I forgot the name of the ability. And here we go. Can we sneak in another shot? And no, we can't, because the 704, the Russian tier 9, got his kill and everything ready. Alright, not a problem, guys, because now we are going to use our mobility. At the beginning of the game, we played aggressively. Here we camped a little bit in the back, but now there is only the RHM and the T44 that are on the game. T44 spotted, and he's probably gonna die because my team is rushing him, but we still have to find the RHM, which did not have been spotted for the whole battle. Where is it? I'm trying first the spawn. Maybe the guy's AFK, who knows, but I think he's not AFK. He has 2 kills, so I decided, nah, you know what, I'm not gonna go in their spawn. I'm gonna go straight to the only unexplored part of the map where nobody from my team went, and I'm pretty sure that's where the RHM is gonna be, into the second town, the medium town, let's say it like this. But where is it? Because I'm pretty sure he's full life, and I'm not. And here we go. Here we go, we sneak a shot, and here I'm like, okay, it's over for me. I'm dead, and... Lucky me, guys, lucky me. We go on, we kill the RHM, we snap a shot. Before he reloads, we ram it, thanks to the mobility, and boom. Thanks for coming, RHM, but next time, don't camp here. We got quite lucky, I know. I definitely know that it was one of the luckiest game I could have in 2020, but I think it showed you the aspects of the tank and that it's kind of a good tank, honestly. When you manage to know how to play it on the battlefield, it becomes extremely good. Just learn how to deal with bad gun depression by knowing which positions on each maps allow you to work with that lack of gun depression. And trust me, you have in your hands one of the greatest tanks at tier 8 from the tech tree, because of course, as we all know, premiums are way better. Au revoir.